Hello, one and all space pilots of New Eden, and welcome to my brilliant opinion on what Tech 1 frigates to fly in low-sec faction warfare space. For this video, I've decided to run a T1 Tech 1 non-faction, non-pirate frigate room from each class to showcase some examples on what to fly in low-sec faction warfare space. Granted, I'm limited for the moment in skills on this account, so personally I could not fit and fly missile ships, only gun platform ones. So the ships that I've chosen are the Atron, the Merlin, the Tormentor, and the Slasher. I've had some good success with most, apart from one. While I'm not the best PvPer out there, I hope this video will help new or maybe even experienced players get some fresh new insight. In this video, you won't see me win every fight. Some ships will manage to warp off, however I consider those wins as well, even if I don't get the kill now. Now, let's start with the Atron. The Atron is a T1 Galente ship with hybrid turrets for its main weapon platform. It's the fastest non-faction, non-pirate frigate the Galente have to offer and the quickest when it comes to locking speed. Most of its tank is in hull and it has bonuses towards hybrid turret, fall off, DPS, and a roll bonus of 80% reduction in propulsion jamming cap usage. That means scrams, points, and webs. It has a balanced slot layout, which means it's versatile and it's fitting. However, I don't recommend running anything other than a whole tank with an ancillary armor repper for solo. For fleet, I've had good success with other people running a shield extender max DPS with Logi. Now for this fit, I've decided to run dual web instead of a scram web because the Atron is fast enough to keep up with micro warp driving frigates if it's double web down. But my main idea with this is to stay under guns as much as possible while using a standard drop drug, which is not used here, but as you can see in the cargo, to increase my own tracking at those speeds, as you will see if you pay attention to the DPS logs in the example videos. Speed will mitigate my damage income, while my better tracking will allow me to do my full DPS 95% of the time. Small NOS and small ancillary armor repper will allow me to tank lucky shots and drone damage, while the buffer tank in hull, thanks to rigs, will permit me to commit against high alpha targets until I get in range. My fit uses a full Genolution set, but if you want to go cheap and effective, you can downgrade the AB for the compact one and it should fit. You just need a difference of 2 power grid and it should work. The Merlin is the tankiest out of all the T1 Caldari frigates, with a bonus towards shield resistance and greater shield buffer. It's also slower because of it and has no bonus towards tracking or range on hybrid turrets, making it a bit lackluster when it comes to solo PvP. The Merlin does excel in fleets more because it has 4 mid slots, making it a good buffer DPS ship in numbers. Solo, however, is a different story. Shield fit for solo PvP is just not effective. Same could be said of the Harpy as well in brawling conditions, simply because of bad tracking and low speeds. Simply put, if you shield tank it, unless your opponent stands still, you will not apply your DPS properly, you will not dictate range, and you will not survive long enough to win most fights. That's why I've decided to go for a scram kite setup with 2 webs. 2 webs will allow me to dictate range against most enemy ships, track them, and with 150mm rails I can easily apply my DPS at scram range. With a small ancillary repper and 2 bulkheads, I have enough tank to survive drone DPS or till I manage to pull outside range. I would not engage rocket and missile ships or other long range fitted ships simply because it's not tanky enough in this setup to survive those fights. The Tormentor is the versatile ship of the T1 Frigate Amar lineup, with 3 med slots and 4 low slots, bonus to DPS and 10 drone bandwidth, fielding 2 light drones or 1 medium drone. While I would encourage a brawl fit simply because it can brawl quite nicely, I went for a different fit because I believe the innate bad tracking of lasers would not make it the best in face-to-face rage combat. This fit does require a full gen evolution set. If you don't have it, you need to downgrade the guns even further, which can still work but will have less range because the Tormentor does not get a range bonus. The idea behind the 10 MN AB fit is to work much like a succubus. Kite with AB, so if you're scrammed the AB doesn't shut down, stay outside brawler range and blast him either fast or slow depending on who you're shooting, because lasers do only EM and thermal damage. So they work great against shield ships and bad against other armor ships. Not much else to say, I'll just let the videos speak for themselves. The Slasher, much like the Atron, is the fastest of the regular T1 frigates from Minmatar faction. Its high speed, high scan resolution make it one of the best tacklers in the game, apart from, interceptors. The Slasher has bonuses towards damage and tracking. That with speed and scan res, and that's about all the Slasher has going for it. Rest is, well, crap. Even with the bonus, it has very low DPS. It doesn't help much with just 2 low slots, however 4 mid slots can allow some interesting fits that don't work that great anyway. I tried running a simple kiting fit, which on paper should work. Nice alpha, nice speed, nice tracking with a standard drop drug, but its low optimal range even with 2 tracking computers make its alpha reduced to half. Now I know most projectiles work in fall off, and that's the thing, even with artilleries it does not do a lot of DPS. I even tried brawling the Slasher, and while in the past I've had some success with it. Hold on, let me show you the fit. Oh, I have so much stuff open. Oh, here you go. Like I said, I even tried brawling the Slasher, and while in the past I've had some success with it, lately the ship is lacking quite a lot of oomph to get the job done. Any decently tanked ship will outlast you, any tracking bonused ships will destroy you, and missiles and rocket boats will give you just enough time to pray you get your pod out before your ship goes boom, bye bye. I don't know, maybe it's just me. I will admit I suck at kiting because I always enjoyed brawling more. And sure, like I mentioned, I'm not the greatest PvPer, but personally, I don't see the slasher being any good in its current state of meta. But here are some examples of what I'm talking about. Oh, but before I forget, I did actually get a kill on a Kestrel, but I forgot to press record. Oh well. In conclusion, yes, you can fly T1, Tech 1 non-faction power frigates and low-sec faction warfare. But no, I do not recommend it, because you will barely find any fights and most often those fights will play at your disadvantage. Yes, faction warfare space is considered frigate heaven, but not Tech 1 frigates as much for solo PvP. Fleet is a different story. These days the low-sec features the faction, the pirate and the Tech 2. And while you might get some good fights if you're good enough or the situation benefits your ship fitting, most often you will be put down in your place because of blobs, cloaky griffins, kiting garmers, shiny dramios, and the occasional smart bombing battleship at the gate. But hey, don't let that stop you. Before I finish up this video, I would like to give you a few more example ships and fits that are in the moment not available to me or strictly for fleet, or just other general good examples to fly, and that from my experience are a good setup to run. The kiting light missile Condor, the scram kite rocket Kestrel with 2 webs, the 2 medium ancillary shield boosted breacher, the 2 400mm plated tackle Punisher for fleets like you see here in the video, and last but not least the new Tristan. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like and subscribe for more brilliant content. Also, my in-game name is Julieta XS, as you see here. I will post this in the description as well, for the purpose of, if you see me in local and you want to have a nice 1v1, give me a shout out and I will probably go for it. Take care, fly safe.